I need to change.
Yeah, you need to get all that clacks out of your head. Replace it with
the music.
other cubes.
There's a good reason I don't speedrun it with the music on. I mean, it's cool a little bit, but man.
I think someone speedruns Bubble Bobble with the music on. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, that would be a lot worse. That song just isn't good.
It's not great.
It's bad. I mean, the ending theme is way worse.
So we got some commentators in the call. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna just throw it over. I haven't checked to make sure he's actually in the call and listening, but I'm gonna throw it over to the Mexican runner.
Hey, hello everybody.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's good. Are you ready for Cubert?
Well, I'm not the one who has to be ready for commentating. Yeah,
I know Yogi's ready, and he's got it.
Oh man,
he's
I
always
think
ready.
I'm ready.
You got this, Yogi.
Hey, it's Josh Boutro as well.
It is.
Thank you very much for coming, you two. Especially because I don't know about the strategy to Cubert. I know Cubert. I play games, therefore
I know
Cubert.
Cubert strats pretty well.
All right.
That's pretty good, Josh Boutro. I have beaten the game, but I am not really sure about the strats. You know, one of those things you get by luck sometimes. But that's pretty good. Have you beaten the game, Josh?
I usually just run the SNES version, but it's the same strats, and especially later on in the levels, not just the enemies will screw up your game, but the actual layout will mess you up too.
Yeah, I find like really colorful, kind of annoying that SNES one. But, somebody was asking if this is gonna be pauseless. It is gonna be pauseless, right, Jogi?
That is right. And in fact, people have been saying their game has been marathon unsafe, and I think this game is the most unsafe game in this marathon.
I will completely agree with that. You need like 100% focus in the game. If you don't, then you will regret not being focused.
Just real quick, a little history on the speedrunning of Q*berts. This all started mostly because of TMR. Back in the day, I used to watch TMR a lot on Twitch. Well, I still do, but back then there was always debates in the chat about which game is going to kill NES Mania. And Q*bert always came up, and so I had to prove everyone wrong. And so I beat it, and back then I had my layout in Twitch was just a giant Q*bert screen. And so I beat it, and then I think TMR beat it, and then all the Mania runners started to beat it. Kogume Lando beat it, Motherbrain 86 beat it, and then a few others like Kane 999, Bashi ST Dexter, and who am I forgetting? Elkovsky. I hope I didn't forget anyone. I think that was 7, because that's all of the people that have beaten it.
So this is the kind of game where just beating it is an achievement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And now you're going to do it for all of us in one go, live.
We're ready to go, right?
I think we are ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to your audios and then we're ready. So count down in like 20 seconds.
Okay.
Not only that, Q*bert, Yogi the Monkey is the only. Not only that, Q*bert, Yogi the Monkey is the only person who has beat this game pauseless, as far as we know. Maybe Elkovsky has done it. Okay, so Yogi is the first and only one who has demonstrated this game can be beaten pauseless. Okay, we have the count. We have the
Countdown,
the countdown ready. So who wants to be counting? Well,
All right,
nobody.
do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Are we
you
ready
do
for
it?
Cubert?
Alright.
We're ready.
Alright.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
That was on go, right?
And this is how it started. Will Yogi the Monk beat Qbert? Find it out right now in the best of NES.
Sounds like some safe strats.
So
Pretty
we
lame.
will be seeing a set of enemies. Like each level like presents a new one. Like for example, in this level 1, 2, you have enemies coming from the bottom, left and right. Those jumping purple guys. Like it is really fun how they put like all the red like slimes and these jumping guys. I'm not sure even if they have a name, but we know a name of 2 characters, the main ones that make this game really hard. One of those is the coil, the purple coil, and the other one is the more annoying troll in a game with a cute face. So his name is Sam. The troll
Cool,
Sam.
Sam. Sam's just trying to help.
I think he got it wrong. What was supposed to be help. I believe Sam is like the Grinch, you know, from Christmas. So he was the Grinch. Sorry, in Qbert.
Mhm.
So for this game, we have a total of 9 levels. Each level has 4 rounds. So each round has kind of different speed as well as different spawns. At the beginning, well, nobody knew like if those spawns were random
There's
because
Sam.
yeah, there is Sam, and he pretty much changes the block. Qbert is already passed. So for each level, you have to do a certain kind of stuff. Like for this level 1, you just need to change the block in color. Here it's like a little demo showing you what you have to do, or the way the blocks behaves. Every single time Qbert jumps on a block, it changes the color. So right now he has to jump twice in a block to make it like in this specific level green, but the concept for the whole level, the 4 rounds, is the same. You have to jump twice.
Yeah, I really like the little demo they have at the start of each level. It's a neat way of showing what's going on.
Yeah, there is a point in the game that the logic of what to do in the game is the same. You have to do like the same pattern, but we will be explaining later on as we reach. But yeah, from level 5. Nice.
And the little green sort of balls, those are the time stoppers, which are super important later on, and even pretty much at all times.
Yep.
The game would be like pretty impossible later on if you can't pick them up.
Yeah, those time stoppers definitely are really useful, like for the later on levels. This game gets really crazy. Like right now, the levels you're seeing are like a demo to you, but later on it gets like crazy speed and the hardness is crazy, and you will find out why. Boom. So that is the way Qbert complains. A pretty unique way. Like he's saying like. Well, that's what I believe if it will have audio.
You did it perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, the skill.
They had to simulate the sound on the NES because in the arcade. Very cool.
Yeah, I know you have been getting them lately, but remember what you say, Jogi. I wanna help you out here. Like as a viewer, should play safe, man.
Yeah, there's not many marathon safe strats for this game though.
Well, clearly not making a frame perfect jump in level 2-3. I think that can be one. But anyway, not gonna interfere the round. But I'm really well, not as nervous as Jogi, but I am really nervous watching this. So the relax, just do it. You can beat all the Qbert.
I like the levels like 2-4, where it just has the sides colored black, so it looks like it's just a bunch of floating diamonds. When I was young, it never even occurred to me that, like, it's just that they're painted black.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I am not sure if we explain exactly what was exactly the concept of the discs. Basically, whenever you take a disc, you use it mainly to disappear a coil, because the IE of the coil is like he's set up to chase you no matter what. Of course, you can kind of manipulate like which direction he will go. The rest of the enemies, I think, are random. Like what do they do? But not.
And with Coily, if you're on the same level block that he is always going to jump up to try to get you. So there is a little bit of a way to control which way Coily jumps.
So
Sam helped you out there a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. As you can see in this level now, 3-1, every single time Qbert jumps twice in a block, the block changes. So this makes challenging, like these new levels, because you need to manage to make them the color that in the upper left corner is telling you to change all the blocks. So it is pretty tough, and especially if Sam comes out or if you don't manage to do something.
Oh, that Sam was great.
Yeah, actually, it helps sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't.
Level 3 is like the best level for Sam, because he can't really mess you up that much. He doesn't go backwards.
We will be seeing a strat that Jogi uses that a lot. Like he calls his openings. Not exactly sure. Every single level has a different opening, but as you can see, Jogi is always going to the left side of the screen. Why? Because of two reasons. Like he developed a strat that actually helps out a lot, and second, once Sam shows up, well, normally he tends to spawn in that right side, so whatever he's going down, he will actually help you out changing colors in some blocks. That is at the beginning, because once you have set up like certain things, he can easily screw you up. So we will see another thing that Jogi the Monk might do later on levels, that is taking intentional deaths. That is not only as a speedrun strat, but it is to help you out to don't let Sam like kill whatever you have done, because it gets so complicated that you have to take those deaths to avoid Sam going farther.
Yeah.
There's another like well, I'm not sure if strategy, but if you throw Qbert out not to a block and you don't get killed by an enemy, you can go out of the blocks. That is pretty bad in the game because you can kill yourself, but it is actually good if you have only missed blocks at the top. So sometimes, I'm not sure if we will see in this round, hopefully not, but you have to throw yourself to just to set up. Like this one is a mix of the level 1 and 2, so he has to double jump in each block, The big problem is that if he jumps again into one block, it will reverse the block, so it will take it to the first position he jumped. And there is also the sum factor, as you can see, like those gold blocks were turned into green. Some behaves differently depending on the stages. Sometimes the jump on some will reverse only one jump, the blocks. Sometimes it will erase and put them like exactly on zero. And well, it's not like an extreme factor, but it is good to know.
Yeah, the duration of the time stoppers is also changing based on what level you're on. So they start lasting pretty long right about now. Here's another cool level.
The lives, you get lives every 6,000 points. At the beginning, I think in the first 3,000 you get a life, but then every 6,000 points you get a life. This
I think it's every 12.
Yeah, it
It's
starts at 6,000, then every 12,000 after
Oh,
that.
sorry, I got the numbers by half. Sorry, my mistake. Oh, there's that thing that with the time stopper, as you can see, well, Qbert cannot kill Sam. He was just bypassing it, and well, that is kind of bad, so he had to go back all the way to fix what Sam messed up.
We're very well.
Yep, this was a quick level, and from now on, most of the levels are gonna be faster, surely, than other levels. But you will see what will happen at level 5. As I told you, like every single level was implementing something. So at level 5, they did implement something, which, in my opinion, make the game like one of the hardest NES games, just because of that little implementation they did. That you will see soon. Yeah, the arcade version, it is looping. I think like the pattern of the enemies and everything is looping completely. So that game it goes to infinity if you know the loop and manage to actually to beat it. But this game, they make an ending, and all the levels in these games are unique. That means these spawns are not like well, they're fixed, but each level has a different fixed spawn. If you're more interested, Elkowski made a really nice walkthrough of this game. And he was the very first one to do it, and he actually noticed that there was a certain pattern, because to me everything would look just random.
Yeah, the later on you go, like things like the coilies are gonna spawn like at the start every time.
There is one thing.
For this one, yeah, the 8th spawn was time stop according to the splits.
Okay, put attention to this, because this is gonna be level 5. Now the game begins. So it is really similar, except that in the previous level, once you jump in a tile you already jump, it was going only one backwards. This time it goes 2 backwards or go to 0. So it's like you didn't jump on it, which makes this really crazy. And not only that, you have to do it as fast as possible, and if little Sam shows up, it will kill everything. So the strat from Jogi is like to stand on the way of Sam and wait for him to kill him, because if he mess up like the bottom that he has already fixed, well, he will get in danger.
And this is where polarity becomes important, because you could have one square left and be standing on it, and you can't fix that square. So there's only three ways you can actually fix that. One's with a SAM, one is jumping off the board from an even number row, and one is jumping on a disc on an odd number row, and it will fix polarity and allow you to finish the level.
Exactly the way we see that he finished this level, he had to jump to the disc, so it will like jump twice in the same one. The way the polarity works, like on the disc, you can jump out of, if you imagine the top one being a number one, the number two numbers down will be number three. So it only works on all the odd discs. If you go to a pair number of disc, it is not gonna fix the polarity at all.
And the fast way of doing it is jumping off the board from the second row, but you also have to keep in mind the number of lives you have. It's faster, but it's more riskier too.
Yeah, in these later levels, the discs play a really important factor, because the more disc you have, the more chances you have to actually despawn the coil, or kill the coil. You really want to don't miss up any green drop. Well, the time stopper.
That was the next level or round. That was nice.
Okay, this game, actually, you see Yogi having 9 lives. The game does let you have more than 9 lives, but it's not gonna show up. We'll find out until he dies, or if he actually earned the 10th life. So Yogi developed a really good speedrun strat for this game. I have to be honest. Thanks to that, I was able to beat this game, because Yogi the Monk, as he said earlier, he proved this game was beatable. Of course, I had to see, like, really? So the way he actually do these levels, and that was thanks to the Olkowski guide, it was like making the bottom first, like the first 2 rows, and working from bottom to top, it is actually the way to go. It is pretty tough and tight in the top, because you get those spawns, like those red things. Oh, like there's some just screw up, but yeah, in the top is a lot easier to stop Sam. Basically, that is why the strat has to be like that, not because of the coil, it's because of Sam.
Yeah, at least Sam turned back in there. If he kept going down and left.
In some of the later levels, the number of SAMs that spawn becomes very quick, so you really do have to go from bottom to top to even control the level.
Sam helpful there though.
We had an example of how Sam can fix the polarity. Maybe it's not noticeable to understand what the polarity is, but believe it, there is a way that you are just even if you jump over the blocks, you're not gonna fix anything. So you're just jumping like like spinning a rat in a wheel or something like that, like endless jumpings. There was a really nice sound. Exactly, there is the RNG factor that plays really badly. But luckily, oh, that green thing, as Yogi the Monk says, sometimes it's worth going for it, sometimes it's not. But if you have a lot to do, definitely you should go for it. And I will say, like, for all the later levels, it's worth going for it. There is one thing that also the disc do, like once you jump onto a disc, it actually let the screen to don't have spawns for a certain period of time, which is not a lot. Yogi the Monk had to take a kill there to fix the polarity, but Sam just screwed up again, so...
Seems good.
Oh no, it didn't. Nice.
Nice.
Mm.
for these later levels, like more likely he will be making a life in every single level once he beat it, because you get a 5,000 bonus. More likely, because there's a lot of jumps, and as you can see in the score, every single jump counts, and also like throwing the coil out of the screen gives you a lot of points.
And so at this point in the game, you should get an extra life about every 2 screens.
And also from here on, the patterns don't change anymore. It's always going to be like
1, 2,
color
3,
A,
1,
B,
2,
C,
3.
A. Yeah. Makes it weird, like, why did they make 9 levels if they're pretty similar from 5 on to the end?
The speed picks up, and the enemy spawn speed picks up, and there's a big difference between level 5 and level 9, even though it's the same objective.
Yeah. I believe the time stopper time goes down too. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, the farther it goes, well, there's certain levels that are easier than others in here, but all of it depends of, well, one, the RNG, second, like the set pattern of the enemies. Sometimes you can really do it easily, and sometimes it just becomes a really pain in the A. So there is you can jump those purple guys from the top, and you have like 2 frames to the bottom to do that jump. But there is one trick that we haven't seen. It is not reliable, but the frame perfect thing. That once you're in the bottom and you go to the top and there is an enemy, there is like 1 pixel, only one, that you can jump through the enemy, and it doesn't respect hitboxes or anything.
Good thing Sam went right there.
Yeah, so for these levels later on, oh my god, man, all those dodges.
Nice ending. It's tough dealing with the 2 on the, the row of 2 on the top. Things will just spawn on top of you a lot. You can't really tell.
Yeah.
It's not something you can react to, but sometimes you just have to jump there and pray.
I cannot recall which level number it is, but there is a level that you get crazy spawns of red balls in the top, and it is pretty tight to jump, because you like to jump in between, but they just go so fast that...
Yeah, especially when there's nothing spawning on the bottom. It's gonna be top every time.
Yeah, that is a huge risk. Once you go back to the top, I will say it's a little bit easier to do the blocks there in the bottom, because you have like a bigger window of what to do. Joey tried the frame perfect and
Dying there
fail.
seemed okay because of the sand messing things
Yeah.
up. Sam, very merciful.
And sometimes it's easier just to take a death to get everything to stop moving and everything to reset and just continue on. Yeah, you're plenty of lives and still 3 continues this far into the game.
Yeah,
Polarity is messed up.
here is a clear example of how can this be really bad. He will take unintentional death probably to fix the polarity, like there.
Good setup.
But yeah, like all of the time was only like 3 blocks left to be colored, and you see how long he spent because the polarity was not right.
And that's a big time waste trying to do a speed run of this too. Doesn't seem like much, but the fastest time's only 1 minute per level, so if you waste 15 seconds on polarity, that's a huge time waste.
Yeah, just to say, if you really don't know, like you don't have an opening or a clue how to beat this once, you will be jumping forever. You will run out of disc, and all the enemies are going to kill you, more likely. Oh, that is the worst Sam I have ever seen in history. I mean, like if he has 50 and 50% going left or right, and he went all of them to the left, I think it's 7 jumps. What is the percentage of that happening?
Very
I don't
low.
I don't know.
50.
Well,
That
Just
sounds about right.
trolling.
it's 50 to troll you.
Yeah, the time stoppers can do the exact same thing too. Because you can never catch them unless they turn back.
Well, yeah, but still, despite of everything, I still believe like Sam going all the way to the left. It is better to fix the pattern than he jumping left and right and making it all the way to the bottom. Or probably it's the same in theory. So we're into level 7, and it's again the same logic. As I said earlier, sometimes the jump of Sam will return the blocks to the very first position, which that is really bad. I remember playing this game as a kid, and I never noticed that change too. Of course, English was not my language, but I was just jumping around, and I thought that was all about this game. But no, you had to change all the blocks to certain color, and pretty impossible to beat for anyone. Oh, he manipulated the coil there, like tricking him. Somebody, well, as man, I'm not sure. Adam Ferguson. Adam.
Okay.
As you explained, sometimes the coil goes to the upper block if you're like in the same level block.
Yeah.
So he used that. Oof. So Yogi the monk taking last minute decisions like either kill himself or go for Sam. He went for Sam and pay off.
And this is where the early strats of pause buffering were good, so you could pause almost like every jump and kind of see which way everything was going to move, and then react to it. But Yogi's past pause buffering now.
Well, 7-1 Terminator. Borrowed by the Tysonator now. I'm really sick. So this level looks cool. It has 5 discs. Nothing can go wrong, right? And actually, I will say like these levels that has like if you count the number of blocks from the top to the bottom, it has two discs set up in the number 3 position, which that is amazing, really amazing, to fix polarity just in case needed. But we'll see. There's a lot of troll blue enemies. And you know, the worst is the mix of the purple guys and the red balls and sun.
But that only happens on every level.
Yep, it happens in every single level. Oh, I don't know why. I have heard that the word is similar in Italian. Mierda means the same, but yeah, it's just he's the biggest troll, really. Like it doesn't look so harmful when Yogi the Monk is playing this game, but that is like I can compare it to Dr. Wily. It's just, but even this one is worse because it's present in every single level almost. I think he makes his first apparition in level 1-4 or in level 2-1. Which one, Yogi? When those
1-4.
1-4, yeah.
Because it's a late Sam in level 1-4.
And from that moment on, he's just following all the levels to try to help you, but nobody told him to go like the other way, like, hey, help me this way. Like, clearly he was like from Britain or something, like he was always making the things differently.
Speaking of Sam,
you know what would be pretty fun? Sam having the same words that Qbert, like complain, like why you kill me?
Yeah. You've been hitting sub 40 pretty consistently now.
Well,
pretty strong start here.
did somebody say dinner? Okay.
And Sam.
Oh, that is
So it's
Yeah,
worth noting that the enemies all disappear when the Coily jumps off the ledge to chase Hubert. But that also includes time stoppers. So if that's timed poorly, that could be a bit.
Yeah, we saw Joey the monk taking a really quick death many times. Ooh, if you don't jump like late
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, he just
The
decided to kill
Coily will
himself.
jump super late. But
So this is a pretty tricky level right now because he ran out of discs. Okay, but he got the lucky time stopper that is gonna last for the end of the level. Man, that was a
Yeah,
tricky
exactly.
position. He ran out of
exactly
discs.
2000. Sorry. Come on,
Yeah.
there's still a digit of points that you need to get.
As you kind of saw there is a when the coil. Well, if there is no disc in the top and the coil makes it to the top, it just becomes like a balls between Qbert and the coil, like jumping squares and squares and squares. Like normally you just round out all the top 4 blocks in hopes to kind of set it up to beat the level, but yeah, it sometimes can be very tricky.
You see that the speed has gone up quite a bit now.
Yeah, and also the speed of the enemy spawning goes up too.
It wasn't fast enough already.
Yeah, just to mention, when this is pauseless, but this game becomes
That was a good death.
a lot easier. Wow, nice. So maybe we will see unintentional death by Joey the Monk just to recover the lives, but he got 1 life, so I don't know. It's his call.
How many game overs do you have?
Yeah, for speedruns you kind of do that. Yeah, by pausing it is pretty cool because you can see if like a time stopper went left or right, but not being able to pause really makes the game complicated because you have to guess and try to get close in hopes that it doesn't go the other way. Really nicely done there in the bottom left, right, so. Oh, here's Sam making his appearance. This is when the people say, Houston, we're in trouble.
And it's one of the biggest time losses is getting a game over after you've already completed most of a level.
But, yeah, that's for speedruns, but I think like what we're watching here is just to witness this game beaten live is just, as somebody say, like probably beating, it was Dexter, just beating this game is a huge achievement. Beating this game live, it is also amazing. Yeah, lucky game over. As Jogi said, we have 3 game overs. But just beating this game is an achievement. Even Jogi Among is like, he's not 100% consistent that he can beat the game. Well, except pauseless. Of course, pausing he can probably 100% consistency, but pauseless is still very tricky.
It is. And through searching everywhere on the internet, there is no other pauseless videos to be found.
In fact, only Qbert runs were like really hard to find. I didn't find any video of anyone beating Qbert when I started NES Mania. Yeah. So there was no legit like run of it. So Jogi Demon got to the job and he did it right. This is a really unlucky thing because he has to screw up all the blocks he did in the top, and those red balls are just coming for him. As Jogi Damon says, this level is a nightmare. He lost the 1 continue in this level already, and oh, nice time saber grab, and a lot of things here. He has to fix polarity, so probably it's just gonna wait for Sam to spawn. and that fixed the polarity.
Alright, good job. There was a Sam moment of truth in that one. Where if he went left, it could still be going on now.
Dun, 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 dun. So most of the people will think this game just goes forever, like the arcade. But luckily, the NES has an ending.
No, once you beat the game, though, it takes you back to level 1-1, so you could do a second loop if you really wanted to.
Sounds delightful.
People are actually quite impressed with Qbert.
Yeah.
Qbert 100%. Ooh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it is pretty hard to make decisions that quick, especially with like 4 or 5 enemies on the screen, and you need to not only see the blocks you're gonna jump into it, you need to see the position of the enemies to hope they don't troll you. They don't go to the blocks you're jumping. So, really pauseless, there's no time to think anything. Like there we saw a miss green ball. And that should... Well, luckily there is still 2 discs left there. Sometimes you will see that instead of going for the blocks he normally goes like to the top. Yogi has like an internal clock, which I will call it the Sam clock. So he kind of knows when is gonna spawn, so he tries to avoid him as soon, he tries to kill him as soon as he spawns. And we're getting to the level 9, the last 4 rounds, and not the easier ones. They're still all of them really hard, but in terms of difficulty from level 5, they're pretty much like the same difficulty or the same way of beating it. Yeah, there's RNG, like the enemies will either go left or right, or as Yogi says, they will find a way just to screw you the most, not left or right. There is a lot of RNG in this game.
Yeah, the order that the enemies spawn in is the same, however, there's a set pattern where Coily will be inserted into that order depending if he's still on the screen, or once you get rid of him, it'll put him back in the order too.
Yeah, that set of the enemy's pattern, it is very strange, because it's not like 2 coilies will come and then like 3 green balls. It is like if a coil is on the screen, like you will get 2 green balls, and the game's supposed to put a coil again if it was not a coil in the screen, and it is like changing the patterns. Well, you get a set pattern, but still it's complicated, and like learning all that is almost impossible. So you just kind of, like for speed runs, you just do your openings, and even not for speed runs, I think the best strategy is just go for it with a certain opening and learn how to react, because trying to learn all the enemy spawns, it is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And since there is too many variables, as I said, like having the coil on the screen will give you the next enemy if the next spawn was a coil, because there cannot be 2 coils on the screen. Oh, that's Sam, man, that's Sam. You wish Kubert had a gun, like, you know, in the mouth. Like, imagine Kubert having flu, throwing, I don't know, peanuts or whatever he eats.
Didn't he used to, Yogi?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, Yogi, that strat was just to make points? Ah. Okay.
How many game overs are in this game, or continues?
One so far.
I mean, 3.
We've got 2 levels to go to continues. He should be able to finish
oh, yeah.
this.
I mean, don't want to jinx anything, but he has a 100% chance of finishing.
There is an infinite continues code you can use for this game, but that'd be cheating.
Well, I think. Yeah, there's still
Showing me up with this tab interaction.
There's still a lot of cool games left in the actual marathon, but we're now witnessing history, guys. This is probably the very first time that Kubert is gonna be beaten live. So
With almost 1,500 people watching.
that is pretty sick. We're gonna get to see the beautiful ending, hopefully. Oh, nice. Nice time stopper grab. Yeah, you can just kill yourself all the time. So, well, that's Jogi the Monk. Oh, wow. Nice. The best ending ever.
That's a finish.
It's like
Thank you for having us help.
You're welcome, and congrats, huge success. I'm glad you were able to beat it. Many things can go wrong.
Did you pause the game? Where's the ending?
It looks like it glitched because the Sam completed it when he jumped off the screen, so it's trying to finish his animation for jumping off the screen. It can't put him on the disc for the congratulations screen.
Pretty sure you have to reset. Start over.
Yeah. I
Didn't beat the game.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you glitched it. You glitched the ending.
the swag was real. Let's go for it.
But it's
really
playing
weird.
the
I've
victory
never
music
seen
right
that
now.
glitched ending.
Well, we
Yeah,
have
that's a
seen-
new one.
Yep. Crazy.
Yogi, you're a beast.
So here it is. This is what you get to see if you beat the game. Congratulations.
ending.
And even in the ending, Coily kills Qbert here. So he never gets a break.
You actually don't know if he kills him or did something else. It is behind the screen, beyond the screen.
But that was really nice. I've game overed, like full game over in practice recently. So anyways,
Yeah, that was
up next,
Qbert.
Insane.
Thank you.
that Tetris.
Thank you so much for coming out and doing that for us, Yogi.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So next up, I wish I could tell you that Tetris is up next. It was a big hit. last year, but our Tetris master Kitaru couldn't make it, so we're gonna try to squeeze it in later, maybe right at the end of the marathon. But for now, we're gonna go right into the Mega Man block, which honestly, pretty good too. Mega Man, it something about it when I think like NES speedrunning, the Mega Man games are like